Hey Clear Lake peeps, Ross Ingham with Clear Lake Guide Service. Weekly report. Today, the actual fishing day and report day is May 27th. It's the Wednesday after Memorial Day weekend. I'm out here in the middle of the day and just about ran out of gas. It's supposed to be 97 or 98 today. Where I'm sitting right now, it actually feels pretty good. There's a little bit of a breeze, which always helps. Water temperature is 70 degrees, so you got a little bit of breeze on top of 70 degree water, and it's actually fairly comfortable out here. But unfortunately, having not been able to be out in this stuff for a whole lot, I'm feeling it today. So, water temperature I just gave you. It's around 70 degrees, plus or minus, 69 to 70 and a half, at least where I have been. And I got down into the lower part of the lake today. I didn't want to fish up in the upper end again because that's where I have been fishing, so I wanted to get around a little bit, see a little bit more water. And I'm telling you what, this lake is beautiful right now. I could see the deepest I actually saw bottom, where I could clearly see something on the bottom, was 10 and a half feet. Most of what I fished today, I could see at least 5 feet, between 5 and we'll call it 8 feet. So really good water clarity. Yeah, the interesting thing is I'm still not seeing a whole lot of weeds. And that's kind of a story. If you can find weeds, if I could find weeds, I could find fish. So condition of the spawn, it's still going on. I've been out twice this week. Well, last Saturday and today. Just took Debbie out Saturday, and she caught like a dozen crappie and 1 bass. We just went out just goofing off, and it wasn't that bad. According to a report I saw from Water Resources, they checked in a little over 500 boats, non-resident, over the weekend, and a little over 300 non-residents over the weekend. So that's 800 boats over the 4-day weekend. And according to them, those numbers are much higher than last year, which is weird because I usually avoid these kind of weekends. It's funny, when we first started coming up here, these were the weekends we came here because it just, compared to Don Pedro or the Delta, those places were zoos on this kind of weekend. And on a weekend like this was, you could come up here and have a good time. Never really felt like I was that pressured. Longer we were here, the more spoiled we got with seeing nobody. So we kind of started avoiding the holiday weekends. But like I said, we went out Saturday, and it was good. I mean, it was a good day. The launch ramps were all full, but there was absolutely no problem. We got around real easily. The afternoon obviously is when all the pleasure boaters, power boaters are out towing tubes around and all that nonsense. So that was a holiday weekend. Today I blew about the first 2 hours trying to fish the way I wanted to fish, which was I wanted to catch topwater fish, and that didn't work. I tried new water. Like I said, I came down below here and just fished some different stuff. Not stuff that I don't normally fish this time of year, but it was just different. The water's so clear. Not only did I never get a bite throwing topwater, I never saw a fish following it, never saw a fish come up and look at it. And the water was clear enough to where I could do that. They just weren't there. I got up close and started sneaking around, and I'd see a bed here and a bed there, but not what I really expected to see for this time of year. Usually May, even into mid-June, as long as the water clarity is good like it is right now, you'll find bedfish. And don't get me wrong, I saw some bedfish today, but I really just didn't spend any time monkeying around with them. I was having a good enough time without that. Once I switched gears on that first 2 hours and just went to fishing docks, and finally figured out what the key was on those docks, then probably the last 2.5 hours that I fished, maybe 3 hours I fished, I put 30 fish plus in the boat. Made a mistake twice today, 3 times. First of all, I tried to get a bite to work that wasn't going to work, and I stuck with it too long, which is one of my faults. But I made 2 bad casts today, and the 2 best fish that I had on, which I saw both of them, I broke both of them off. They there was a left side of the piling and a right side of the piling, and one of them I should have tossed to the left side of the piling where I had room to work. The other one I should have tossed to the right side of the piling where I had room to work. I didn't, and both those fish just kicked my fanny. They were between 5.5 and 6.5 pounds. Really good, solid fish. I really only saw one other fish that I would say was a 5-pound plus fish. Most fish that I caught today were 2 to 3, maybe 3.25 pounds. But it was a good bite. I mean, I just pulled into a couple areas and just started going down the bank and just started picking them off. Most of the fish that I caught today were in 5 to 9 feet of water. So, looks like the weather's going to change a little bit this coming weekend. I don't know if I'll get back out again this week or not, but it definitely, while I don't think the lake is fishing like everybody thought it was going to fish when nobody was here fishing for 8 weeks, the fishing's good. If you just don't try to go out and concoct something, make something up, and just go do what you normally would do, it's pretty good fishing right now. And the fish that I caught today, I don't care if they were 10-year-old, they'd have been able to have caught them. That's pretty much how much skill and ability it took. As long as somebody got you around the right areas, they were there, they were aggressive, they bit really well, and they fought very, very strong. And it's just a really fun time of year when you can hook a fish, and within just a couple of seconds, all of a sudden, you start seeing that fish fighting. You can see them swimming. I love that. I love that time of year when the water's clear enough to where you can see all this stuff happening. So it was a really, really fun day. I haven't really talked to very many people about what they've been doing. Like I said, I still think I could go back up on the upper end and catch some topwater fish, and they were my better fish by far. Yeah, probably a 20-pound limit. If you got lucky and got one good bite, maybe a little bit more, but there wasn't a whole lot of people fishing up there. So right now I'm just looking around, and I'm looking at a gorgeous lake that just doesn't have a whole lot of people on it, which is cool. So that's going to be my report. Hope you all stay healthy. The nonsense of when everything is going to completely open up here, who knows? They're talking about 4th of July has been shelved. Well, they're going back and forth as far as fireworks displays off of Lakeport. So we'll see what happens. Things are slowly starting to come around. We did have a few more cases that fired up last week. It'll be interesting because after this weekend, probably next week would be an indicator of when it was a big deal or it wasn't a big deal. So anybody who's out of the area feels like coming on up, you may as well. It's good fishery. There's a lot of room. Fishing's good. So don't know when we're going to be able to get back to guiding. They don't seem to recognize us as an entity within all the businesses. It's more important to worry about a cosmetologist and a barber than it is about fishing guides. So when something happens, we'll let you know. So in the meantime, guys and gals, have a good one. Stay healthy. We'll talk to you next time.